Previously on the Damage Guild podcast.
We've just discovered an alchemist's lab. This is for Tokas like Christmas morning.
I want to take as much of this with us as possible.
You finally arrive back at Edelburn. You hear a little bit of shuffling and recognize that woodsman zombie person.
Limping Larry or Squirmy Jeremy?
Jeremy is special.
You're saying you want to keep him alive.
Yeah, he's a valuable test subject.
Lure him inside.
I lower myself out the window.
And then we close the door. Let's go say hi to Iris.
Let's get this lady to the civilized world.
She has several large bags.
What do you even have in those bags, lady? We're not taking your whole house with us to Nanette.
Suppose I could do without my yellow yarn.
We all just facepalm at the same time.
As you are camped for the night, you hear dogs barking off in the distance. What's out there?
Don't worry about that.
2 death dogs, their flesh beginning to rot, run forward out of the darkness for a fresh meal.
I will fire a treat to see if they're hungry.
By the time they get into clear sight, they're probably close enough to start being a threat, so I'm going to say initiative.
Roll for initiative.
No one is surprised, obviously.
Can I fire a treat when I think I see them so that we can see what they do? Whether they stop?
Sure, I'll let you fire one treat off first.
I'm not trying to hit them. I'm just trying to fire it near them to see what they do, whether they react to it.
Just a warning treat, nothing.
Yeah, warning. That was a warning treat.
Okay, you fire the treat on an arrow, and it lands in the ground somewhat close to them, probably. And they kind of go over and rummage around where it landed for about 20 seconds or so. And then either they've eaten it or they give up and they start moving towards you again.
That is a lot of time. Can we spend that 20 seconds doing things?
Okay, at this point we rewound a little bit. So this would be before you've seen them clearly. You just kind of see their shadows off in the distance.
And how many dogs are we fighting again?
There's 2 dogs.
2 of them. And remember the last time we had trouble fighting even one?
But they're probably weakened by the plague, right?
Yeah. And this time we're ready for them, and we have treats.
That's right.
So if things turn sour, we can buy our way out.
I think we're going to need something more powerful, Shabba. So I produce a vial from my pouch and hand it to Shabba and say, you didn't get to play around with this last time. It's the paralytic ichor.
Ooh. I try to dip my arrowhead, but it's too thick.
What if you dip the dog treat arrow tips in the...
Nice.
Or dab a little bit on there like some hot sauce, a little bit of extra.
I have to figure out how many of my arrows I actually put treats on. Can we just say 3? Just
sure.
Randomly? Okay, so I had prepared 3 treats. That's not very many. So maybe I make a little drip onto one of them, and I'll spend my first round of combat firing that one off and seeing if they go toward it. And then Azlo, you should probably, while we're waiting for them, however many rounds it takes them to actually run toward us, you guys should dip your rapiers in it.
Okay.
Oh, there's not tons of it left.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking it was hard for us to fight one dog, so if we want to spend the venom, so to speak, this way.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Mechanically, it's probably a number of uses.
Would it be enough for us to coat everything?
I told you a number of uses, didn't I?
Yeah, Thane said you keep track of how many uses you have left, and he gave you a number of uses.
I think it was only something like 3, correct? The last time we spoke?
I think it was 2 or 3, at most.
So this would use up the rest of the vial if both Brian and I coated our weapons.
Probably. In fact, you guys should do that rather than me using a use on a treat, because there's no guarantee they'll go after it once they see us.
Fair enough. So you hand me back the vial?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I pass it over to Azlo, let him dip his stick, and then you pass it back to you.
Stick?
His stick? Yeah, I was that's an interesting phrase. Dipstick?
Yeah, his blade. His blade.
My sharp
sword.
metal stick.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of pulling out a dipstick out of an engine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll douse the end of my blade real quick and pass it back to Tokas.
And the last few measly drops, I shake the vial to get them onto the rapier. Azlo, you're so selfish.
There's hardly anything left in here.
You do the thing where you take like a blade of grass or something and you're like scraping the inside of the vial to get it out.
Yeah.
What if I just use my tongue and then
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
get it out of there?
Like when there's only a little bit of peanut butter left at the bottom of the jar.
Yeah.
I could dilute it with some of that water I had, the water sample, swish that around in there, get a diluted version of it and...
Tokas, there's no time for that. The death dogs are upon us.
Oh, right, we only bought ourselves 20 seconds with the treat, you're right.
Just pour it on.
I'm just going to keep saying the death dogs are upon us until we actually fight them.
It's been coded.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember, because today at work I was listening to one of our episodes. You guys looked up the poison rules, and basically it's not just number of uses, it's also 60 seconds. So we have 60 seconds, Azlo. Don't waste it.
I won't.
All right, 10 rounds.
That's the equivalent of 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Yep, 60 seconds is 10 rounds, and it'll probably take them 2 rounds just to get here. But that's cool. That's 8 rounds is still a pretty long time. I mean, that's just my estimate. I don't know. So my initiative roll was a 15.
All right.
Mine was a 10.
Back in actual order of things that are happening.
13. I don't know if I wanted to use the whole vial, because I don't even know if this stuff works on them, by the way. We never confirmed that. They're organic, but they're undead.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I guess we'll find out now that it's on our blades.
Iris runs back and positions herself behind you before any of this starts.
Iris, do a fireball.
Your fireball.
Shabba goes first.
What if Iris totally just spazzed out like Galadriel in Fellowship of the Ring? Or was that Two Towers? Where she just turned green and started glowing and was like, "Screw you, death dogs! You're about to get it!"
We would offer her a contract, because we could use some more members.
Hey, need a job?
We would hire her straight away.
Looking for work?
Then Azlo could finally fire me.
Yes! Sweet. Oh, I mean, this is all hypothetical.
That's how that
right?
works, right? Yeah. Every time you hire a new person, you have to fire someone
Yeah,
else. That's how
naturally.
companies work.
Well, it's like Final Fantasy when you're swapping out your party, right? You can only have 3 at a time.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So you would bench me, not necessarily you fire me,
Yeah.
Because I have tenure at this point.
Yeah, you just follow along behind the group and don't do anything for some reason.
Right.
You're just there, but you can't act.
And then if everyone else dies, then you just also die.
Right. This is a poorly programmed version of Final Fantasy where there's only 3 party members max and one of them can't ever do anything, and so you just swap out the worst one.
It's perfect. All right, so Shabba, yeah, it's your turn.
I take out a regular arrow and shoot it at the stronger looking of the weaker looking of the 2 death dogs, if I can tell. If not, I just go for the closest one.
Make a perception check.
Wow. I am on fire tonight. I just rolled
another
2
20?
d20s, and I got 19s on both of them. One's
Wow.
to hit, one's to percept.
All right. So you definitely know which one's weaker.
Okay, I fire at that one. Actually, I mark that one as my hunter's mark. Do I have my spells back? Yeah, it's been several days. So, yeah. And I deal 12 damage to it. Except I shoot it through a flap of its decaying flesh, and it just goes right through its rib cage and doesn't even hurt it, probably.
So you shoot it in its chest, and it sticks into its ribs, but the dog doesn't seem to react to it the way that dogs normally would.
Yep.
So it continues moving forward. Tokas, the dogs are coming at you all at a run, but with a little bit of a limp and stagger to it.
Which one did Shabba shoot? The one on the left or the right?
Shot the one on the left.
My left or your left? All right, so I turn to Azlo and I say, I'll take the one on the right.
I look back at you and say, shouldn't we all focus on one of them so we can kill it and then move on to the next one?
Well, no. Have you never played Rogue or Poison Rogue? You have to apply the poison to
Neutralize
all
the
the
one.
enemies
Gotcha.
you're fighting.
Okay.
And we'll focus on them after we've applied our poison to all of them.
Okay,
So.
got it.
Tokas, you're to my left, so why would you take the one on the right? Because then you and Azlo would have to cross paths, and you might bump into each other and fall down.
Or poison each other accidentally.
Yeah.
Oh, watch out. Oh. Ow, my leg. You stabbed me in the leg. What are you thinking?
Oh, I can't feel anything. Oh no, I'm falling over. Oh no, everything's going dark. Oh no, guys, I'm dying. What? You're both just
shouting it at each other.
And I'm like, oh, what do I do? Like, oh, God, Azlo, why did you kill me? Tokas, why did you have to kill me?
No, it'll be better than that. I'll trip over my own feet and stick myself with the poison.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure why your theater of the mind is determined to make this as difficult for everyone as possible.
It makes us out as the biggest idiots possible.
It always goes worst case scenario thing. That's what's funniest.
Every time we get into combat, it's like a clown show.
Yeah. All right, so serious moment.
Yeah.
I step towards the dog that is nearest me, and does it have an open mouth?
Just hold your blades straight
At least one
out.
of the mouths is open.
Okay, so the mouth that's open, I'm going to action surge, and I want to shove my shield in the mouth and wedge it into the mouth.
And then I'm going to stab through my shield. And
No, I'm going to
into
stab
its
the other
gullet.
head. I have a plan, Shabba.
I'm not quite sure what you're trying to do. I guess I could call that a grapple?
I want to wedge the shield into its mouth.
I'll call that a grapple.
Sure, so I'll grapple one of the heads with my shield.
So that's an athletics check versus it's athletics or acrobatics, right?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Correctamundo.
Ooh, what'd you get? Something sweet?
Something really high.
Well, I got an 11.
I got a 21. So you attempt to grapple it, swing your shield at its mouth, and it ducks out of the way.
Whoa!
All right, go with plan B and stab it.
All right, I'll use my normal action to stab it in the head. I got a 16.
That hits.
Sweet. 3 damage. Minimum damage.
Yes. If you had just hit it in the first place and it fails its save, then it'll be paralyzed anyway, and you wouldn't have had to use your action surge.
I don't know if the poison's going to work on the dog.
Yeah, but you can always find out first, and then if it doesn't, do something else,
We didn't really think this through, and we wasted my best alchemical component.
Yeah, you can always drop a rock before you jump off the bridge to see how far down it is.
I was going to say, if it doesn't work, I'll take a cloth and I'll try to, wipe the venom back into a vial.
Yeah, I don't think it would work that way. So you clumsily swing your shield and it dodges out of the way, and then you stab at it and pierce through one of its cheeks. But since it's already kind of rotting there, it doesn't seem to do a whole lot.
Azlo, I don't know if it's going to work.
There's no visible reaction to the venom.
It doesn't have a circulatory system anymore.
You don't know what that is.
Yes, but if I did, I would know it doesn't have one.
Well, what part of a zombie still has, flowing juices? Is it just the brain?
Well, Sean, if you've watched The Walking Dead, in the final episode of Season 1, the physiological qualities of a zombie are explained in great detail. I recommend you do some homework and go check that out, because it explains scientifically how zombies are possible.
How zombies actually work.
Yes, how zombies in real life actually work.
Could be useful.
Yeah, well, D&D isn't real life, so...
Yeah.
Unlike The Walking Dead.
All right, so I shouted Azlo with this newfound information that I don't know where it came from. Azlo, go for its head. You have to stab it in the brain.
Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes.
I don't know where you got that information either.
What's a brain?
I think you know what a brain is.
Stab it in the head, Azlo. The head, Azlo. You must stab it in the head.
Is it my turn?
No, it is currently the dog's turn.
Okay.
The one that you just stabbed lumbers forward a little bit and tries to lunge at you, but you easily deflect both of its heads. Neither one manages to land a blow. Since you had to run forward to meet them, the other one also decides to turn and try to bite your leg. And one of the heads actually succeeds.
Ow.
So you take 8 points of damage and make a Constitution saving throw.
Well. 15.
It hurts, but you're not feeling the same sort of nauseating effect that came over you last time you were bitten by one of these.
Guys, I'm doing the whole tanking thing, see? I'm going to need some help, though.
Good work.
We gotcha.
Okay, Azlo.
I'd like that pay raise now, Azlo.
Not now, Tokas. I would like to step up and off to the side, and I'd like to pull out my lute, and I would like to
Distribute it.
start playing.
Azlo, this is no time for music.
And I will play Thunder, feel the thunder, doom, doom, doom. Lightning and the thunder, thunder, thunder. Feel the thunder, doom, doom, doom. And then I'll cast Thunderwave. So they both make a con save, which I'm hoping, since they're undead or undying, will, not be good for them.
I hope we don't have to pay royalties to all the different bands and songs that we borrow on our show.
A little too late for that.
Yeah, we owe thousands of dollars in royalty fees.
Hey, it's a cover. You're allowed
God.
to do covers.
Yeah, totally. It's my version of it.
And we haven't stated what they are, right? Out of sheer fear of being hit by fees.
Fair use.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so both of them succeed. Actually, what is the DC, just to double check that?
15.
So yes, I rolled pretty high, so yeah, they both succeed on their checks.
Okay.
Dang it.
Right.
Did I succeed on my check? You dropped it like right on top of me.
I tried to angle it around you. That's why I stepped up and to the side to kind of like go at an angle.
Hey, we're not playing like Weak Man's. We're playing Iron Man D&D right here, right? Friendly fire's a thing, Thane. You should have asked me to roll.
Friendly fire is a thing, but if he's careful, the dogs are pretty big, so he can hit most of the dogs and miss you.
Yeah, but friendly fire is what the listeners want to hear, Thane. So just keep that in mind for the next time Azlo thunder waves me.
You realize you're voluntarily like putting yourself in harm's way, right?
I'm right there. How would you get a clean shot?
Yeah, the listeners want us to get a TPK against 2 dogs.
Against ourselves? Question mark.
Yeah, because that would be against our own incompetence, because that would be a great end to the podcast.
The good news is, on 2d8s, I rolled a 7 and an 8, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So they take half.
That is pretty good.
So 7 damage each then?
7 each, yeah.
So wait, it still deals the damage? Sorry, you haven't used this ability in a while.
Half damage.
Effects like this, whenever you succeed on the saving throw, you still take half damage.
That's sweet.
Yeah, stuff like fireball and that kind of thing. Otherwise, it's like complete, success or fail. And
Alright, so the dogs reel back and shudder from the vibrations moving through the air, but they don't get thrown back as you had hoped. Iris, on her turn,
Panics.
she actually takes a few steps forward and reaches for a log in the fire and picks it up.
ooh,
So she starts wielding a burning brand, ready to swing in case something comes close.
well done, Iris.
It's a very heroic old lady.
Shabba,
I shoot at the dog that is threatening Tokas.
They're both threatening me.
I shoot at the one that's threatening you the most. Whoever has said the most threatening thing, bark to you.
Wait, why aren't you marking these, Shabba? What's wrong with you?
No, I did mark the
Oh, you
first
did?
one.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd have to be the one that I marked. Whichever.
There you
Hopefully
go.
that's the most threatening one.
that is the one that actually succeeded in biting him.
Okay, so yeah, that guy. So I got a 23 to hit.
Okay.
And I rolled max and min on my 2 dice. So that's 12. Another 12.
So your arrow sticks through one head and into the adjacent neck,
Ha.
Ooh,
and it's got its head kind of stuck together, but it's still alive, or not alive,
man.
but not
Yikes.
dead. Tokas.
I'm going to stab at the one that bit me. I rolled a 7.
That's a miss.
Curses.
What's your attack bonus? You're a fighter, right?
It's a +4. I rolled a 3.
Oh, dude.
I know, right?
So you're too nervous, and you have lost your morale due to the fact that the first one didn't manage to paralyze the dog.
It's not working, Azlo. The poison was a bad idea. What a waste.
The dog's turn again. Your AC is 18.
Is that even with shield and fighting style defense?
Yep.
I thought I was higher.
You were 19, but your armor class is reduced by 1 because of your damaged armor.
Yeah, we need to get that stuff fixed, guys.
And unfortunately, your armor being damaged was precisely enough to cause one of the bites to hit.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
So,
Blast it all.
give me 3 Constitution saves,
Yep.
and you take 12 damage as the 2 dogs bear down on you.
So that's 18 total, right? I already took 6. Boy. I'm just rolling terribly tonight. Oh, I think I know why. I'm using a top down. It's probably part of it. All right, so I got 7, 7, and 6. I'll switch it up. I forgot. I do have a randomized one.
So, as the dogs tear into you and your armor, chunks of chainmail flying off, you feel that sickly feeling just come over you again as your vision blurs and you get all nauseated.
Oh, you've poisoned them, and in so doing, poisoned yourself by being bitten by them.
Guys, I don't feel so good.
Uh-oh.
And we will move on to Azlo.
All right, I will run up with the original plan and take a stab at one of the dogs. Whichever one is more injured.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually very low on life points, just so you guys know.
Ugh. I look over at Iris and I'm like, what are you doing just standing there, old woman? You're holding a fire damage club, and a late model one at that. Use the thing.
Is it possible for me to run around to the other side of the death dog?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. I'm glad I did. So that would be a 20 to hit
Okay.
for 5 damage.
You rush forward in an attempt to save Tokas, weave your way past the dogs' heads, taking a stab at it as you do so, and you stick it hard with your sword, but you feel a few ribs breaking underneath it as you stab.
Ooh.
It shrugs it off and turns towards you.
Azlo, you never listen to me. I said stab it in the head.
I tried.
Iris takes her burning club and...
I was just kidding. I wasn't serious, old woman. Stand back and let the heroes take care of this.
Won't she die if she gets hit even once?
I mean, we don't know what level she is. She's pretty old, so she's probably attained at least some levels in home.
Well, she's probably the world's average, right? So she's probably level 5.
Could be. I mean, that'd be sweet. I wouldn't argue with that. Let's see. All right, never mind. Go ahead. Have at you. I want to watch this.
Shabba, that decrepit old hag has a name. It's Iris, okay? Show some respect.
Alright, so she rushes forward and screams like, "Ah!" and then swings the club down and misses the dog by about a foot.
Oh, man. All right, never
That's a
mind.
good try.
Yeah, she's not level 5.
Yeah, never mind. Run away. Go back and hide behind us.
Shabba, it's your turn.
I shoot that dog. And I rolled a 19 again. What is with all these 19s? And this time I got 16 damage.
Impressive.
Same mark.
Holy
dude.
crap-oly.
Okay, so this time the arrow flies through, pierces right where the sword pierced him just moments before, and you finish breaking through its remaining ribs, and it collapses to the ground in a heap.
Huzzah!
Yeah! I do a fist pump and then I jump kick in place.
So wait, we just have to destroy its bone structure, and it will turn into a pile of mush.
Yep.
Very clever, Shabba.
That's about the size of it.
So that's like your victory dance. Every time you press a certain button on the controller, you do that. You do a fist pump and then a jump. And
Yeah,
a kick.
I do a fist pump and then a jump, a ninja kick just in place.
Okay, sweet. I'll remember that for the future.
Tokas.
I'm going to second wind.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
3 hit points.
Yep. So I go up to 8.
All right. Okay.
You can still act.
I know. Which one?
There's only one
Which
left.
one? I'm hesitating.
Yeah,
Like,
there's only one left.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got to stab at that one. 16.
16 hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
7 damage. I do aim for the face, just by the way.
Alright, so you stab it, grazes past its neck and into its shoulder.
Not what I was going for, but
But close enough. The dog, however, is stronger than the other one, and it doesn't seem to care much that it just got stabbed.
Your owner must have taken you for walks.
Walks on the dead gnomes.
I can't remember if there were these demon dogs when the reckoning happened, our day of reckoning.
You didn't see any of them.
Well, we know the cultists keep them as pets, because we saw them in the cave, in cages.
Oh, that's true.
Alright, so the remaining dog turns towards the new, easier prey and lunges at Iris.
No.
Ah, crap. I'm going to regret that suggestion.
She kind of sticks out the club and it chomps onto that with one of its heads, but the other one reaches forward and bites her in the side. And she screams in pain.
No, Iris.
But she is still alive. Azlo, it's your turn.
I tell Iris to go back to the fire and huddle behind it where she'll be safe.
Don't ever listen to Shabba again.
You're supposed to be the one that's, cares about people.
Yeah, no, I just saw you getting really hurt, and I started getting so worried that I snapped at her, and I regret it.
I will circle around to the opposite side of where Tokas is and take a swing. With a natural 20.
Ooh.
And so that would be
I like how you held it up just to prove to us that you aren't cheating.
4 plus 5 plus 1 is 10. 10 Damaggio.
You stab down through its back, and your sword goes straight down through it and hits the ground before you pull it out, but the dog is still standing.
Oh, man.
Iris struggles to extricate herself from the situation, waving her club at it as she backs away, hobbling over in pain, and doubles over by the fire and just lays down as blood pours from the wound.
Oh, no.
Iris.
Iris.
She never saw her family.
Don't you go dying on me, Iris.
Shabba.
I shoot at the dog that is the most mean looking.
There's only one left.
I shoot at that guy.
There's still only one.
And yeah, no, I mark him and then shoot at him because he looks mean.
There's 2 heads, though, in fairness.
Oh, yeah, I shoot at the head that is the bigger one. And I got a 20 to hit, and I rolled 10 damage. Not a natural 20, just a total of 20.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 13.
All right.
Oh, well, that's not that amazing. But you're amazing, Shabba.
I mean...
And I give you gnomish inspiration.
Gnomish inspiration, all right. Hey.
It won't get you anything. It just makes you feel good.
Yeah, I do another jump kick in place. Whoa!
Move on to Tokas.
And I make the Mario sound. And I do
I will spend my turn differently because this is not working. I will move in such a way, since I don't learn the intervene ability till much higher level, I will spend my move action to move and position myself between the dog and Iris.
Okay.
And I will ready a dodge action.
Ooh, okay.
Don't worry, Iris.
Oh, you don't ready a dodge, you just dodge.
Oh, okay. I will do that. Don't worry, and I'll comfort Iris.
You stand in between the dog and Iris, and then you dive out of the way. You're like, oh, sorry, I thought you were about to attack. Can we do that over?
Can I get a do-over, please? No, and I comfort her, and I say, don't worry, Iris. We'll get you some more blood.
I mean, not yours, of course.
Yeah.
Not other other.
I wonder if they knew how to do transfusions at this point, if that technology existed yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably not.
What blood type are you, Iris?
Red.
Are you hitting on me?
Yeah.
It decides to go for the target that is now in front of it and blocking its previous prey, and attacks Tokas. Okay, yes, disadvantage. So that natural 20 becomes a miss.
Oh, thank God. Because I might have just died.
Oh.
I only had 8 life points.
What does dodging do? Does it increase your armor class?
All attacks are at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Okay.
So it's not I make a dodge action, it's I say I prepare to dodge. Like something like that?
You take the dodge action, which...
I take the dodge action.
It means that until your next turn, all attacks against you have disadvantage.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because that's how you use your action for the turn, is saying, I'm going to dodge for this whole next round.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a really good... I should really use that more often.
Except that you can't attack.
Right.
Use an action to dodge.
No, but I'm the tank.
Right.
That's true.
So, like, you guys are my damage dealers, and I really should do way more dodging than I do. I think I've only used it, like, 3 times in the whole campaign.
Did you actually end up taking the defense type? You did, didn't you?
No, I'm fighting style defense. All it does is give me an additional armor class.
Yeah. What is that fortress armor you can get? There's, like, some dwarven, like, ridiculous... You should just be in a huge suit of plate mail and just stand there, and then whatever enemies we're fighting, whatever they hate the most, just do that. Or smell like that, or say that, and then they just all try to attack you, and you just dodge every turn.
You mean do the taunt action?
Yeah, exactly.
It'll only work if they're sentient, Shabba.
Right. Or if you're holding a brain and they're zombies.
In this case, we should have covered me in dog treats. Like, we should have just, like, like smeared dog treats all over my suit.
Azlo, it's your turn.
How badly does this undead dog look, exactly?
It has a few more rips in its skin than it did when you started fighting.
Okay, all right.
But it's really hard to tell.
That's something. I will...
Heck, I just go over to it with a skinning knife and just skin the thing alive, like I'm skinning a dead deer.
That's disgusting.
Pull off its skin, and then it'll probably just attack us without a skin.
Yeah, do you think I should... I'll put it to vote. Do you think I should keep attacking the dog, or should I go over and heal Iris?
I think you should pull out a fire damage club and attack it with that, because you'll probably do more damage.
Well, wait, I'm standing between the beast and Iris. You could heal me.
That's true. You're protecting her.
Also, when do you learn area of effect heals, by the way? Because that would be sweet.
It's like level 5.
I don't know if I get them at level 5, but...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Isn't it?
Most bardic songs are area of effect.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's a healing one.
The healing word, the mass healing word, is level 3 spell, I believe. So you'd get it at level 5.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a useful thing for this situation, because I'm standing next to her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll move up behind the dog and take another swing. That would be an 18.
Hit.
With 8 damage.
Okay. You hit it hard with your rapier, and it looks like you just snap one of the dog's necks.
Whew.
And then it turns its head and pops it back into place.
Ugh, gross.
And Shabba, your turn.
16 to hit?
Yes.
Okay. He's marked. Oh, no. 6 damage. Rolled a 1 and a 2 on my damage dice.
It seems to have very little actual impact on the dog.
Yeah.
It just keeps on going. Tokas,
I'm still low HP. Am I the closest target to the dog?
you and Azlo are flanking it.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, if you're flanking, then you get advantage.
Which means that if you attack...
I'm nearly dead, Shabba.
But advantage is super good.
It doesn't look like it's about to die. Well, it's already dead.
Right. It doesn't look like it's about to undie. Well, it's already undead, too. So. Shucks.
So there's no good way to talk about the undead
and their state of vitality. Well, I mean, you could take the dodge action. If you want to be a wuss about it.
What other things... I mean, now I want to explore all these defensive options. What are other things I can do on my turn in addition to readying a dodge?
well, the dodge is your action.
Yeah, so that takes the place of your attack.
So I can do, like, I can pair it with movement, I can pair it with, like, an item action.
Any bonus action?
Certain item actions, simple things like pulling something out of your bag or opening a door.
Yeah, let's consult our old friend Google. So actions in combat. When you take your action on your turn, you can take one of the actions presented here. Attack, cast a spell, dash, disengage, dodge, help, hide, ready, search, or use an object.
Wait, what's help?
Help is you can lend your aid to another creature in the completion of a task. When you take the help action, the creature you aid gains advantage on the next ability check it makes to perform the task you're helping with, provided that it makes the check before the start of your next turn. Alternatively, you can aid a friendly creature in attacking a creature within 5 feet of you. You feint, distract the target, or in some other way team up to make your ally's attack more effective. If your ally attacks the target before your next turn, the first attack roll is made with advantage.
This is great. This is like watching the D&D Actions in Combat tutorial video.
Not bad.
He already has advantage.
Okay, but I can't help. But I can't. All right, he already has advantage, A, and B, I can't both help and dodge.
Right.
Right.
What if... okay, I will do an item action. I will pull out a dog treat. And I will wave it under... I get close enough to wave it under the nose of the dog.
Under all 4 of its nostrils.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do one of these, like, side to side. Yes. You like the way that this smells.
You know you want it.
Not yet. Not yet. I pull it back a little bit. Oh, yes.
Then it bites off your hand.
Yeah, and then you put it right on your lips, so it's like half in your mouth, and you're like, and have it jump up and bite it out of your face.
Good boy. Good boy. Now sit. Sit. Roll over.
No treat unless you roll over and expose your belly to Azlo so he
Yeah.
can stab you.
And shake.
Play dead and stab.
Play dead and stay
play
that way.
And then I'm still standing between Iris and the dog,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so after taunting the dog, I will ready a dodge.
Take the dodge action.
I will take the dodge action. And my dog treat back. I want it back. I don't want to waste it here.
Yeah, all this combat's working up an appetite, right?
They're very plain, just the way that I like them, Shabba.
Well, considering what you put into it, these should be perfectly edible.
I thought you made them for us.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's like trail mix, you know? It's good travel food.
So, you're taunting it with the dog treat, and one of the heads bites at it, but you pull it out of the way before it can get it.
Psych.
And the other one bites at you, but you dodge out of the way of that one as well.
Nice. I can do this all day, guys.
And with what little emotion might remain in it, its head look very irritated.
Oh, did you want that, puppy? Did you? I guess at some core level, it's still like a dog.
I mean,
Right, fundamentally, deep down at its core.
you could say Limping Larry was deep down at his core still a human, but you know
We couldn't save him.
that doesn't make him salvageable.
Azlo.
That's tragic.
Things are not looking up for old Jeb, but we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I'll stab a dog. 17
It
and 3 damage.
Oh man, minimum damage.
seems like these attacks are having no effect. Every time that you hit it with something small, it just kind of shrugs off whatever was done to it.
Ooh. Azlo, could this be regeneration?
Or like damage reduction. I don't think they would have that. But probably, it might just be resistance to piercing stuff, which, once again, all 3 of us are using.
Would make sense. We've run into this before.
Shabba?
I don't know if we ever determined last time if the undead were actually resistant to piercing.
Well, we beat the other dog because we crumpled its skeletal structure, so maybe we should be more strategic with our blows.
Okay, so I have 2 dog treats tied to arrows left. So I'm going to equip one of said arrows, and I'm going to lean over into the fire and wait until the dog treat catches. Because, I mean, it's very high in calories. It's high caloric content.
And it's dry.
So it should burn. Yeah, it's dry, so it should burn real good and for a nice long time. And then once it's nice and on fire, I will shoot the dog with that flaming doggy treat.
Shabba learns fire arrow.
Da-da-da-da.
Sure. I'll allow that.
And I missed. I got a 12.
Dang it.
Tokas uses his dodge action to jump and catch it in his mouth in the air. He's like, you're wasting a perfectly good treat.
Treat.
Eats it while it's on fire for some reason.
So your flaming arrow flies off about 15 feet past the dog.
No, and then you started a forest fire, Shabba. What are you doing? Remember what Smokey taught us? Don't shoot fire arrows in the forest.
Well, you're in the open plains,
Oh, okay, we're good then.
but the grass
But
around
there's
here
still a lot
is-
of big, dry grass.
yeah, the grass around here is not doing too well.
So we start a grass fire? Wait, that's how we can beat the dog. Quick, Shabba, loose another fire arrow.
I only have 1 left, so I'm going to have to make it count.
Tokas, back to you again.
I shout, Tokas, I just had an idea. Those sticks in the fire, if we use those are bludgeoning weapons.
So you think we should switch weapons?
Yeah, you should. Let's grab those and hit the dogs with those instead.
Yeah, I suggested that like 2 turns ago.
Well, that was before it was a good idea.
Oh, okay.
So the piercing weapons don't seem to be that effective. Whether or not they work on undead, debatable. What did work on the last dog, it sounded like we literally broke its ribs and its skeletal structure and it just slumped over.
That was just how he described it dying. It was still piercing.
Yeah.
That's not the point, Azlo. That sounds really cool. Is there anything I could do, like maybe like a grapple action or something of the sort to like specifically try to break its bones?
Again, hit it with a blunt weapon.
You can grab it and squeeze really hard. Yeah, blunt weapon. So remember when we fought our very first zombie in Letwick? Remember we were like stabbing it with rapiers and stuff and it wasn't working and the building was on fire and so we just like we grabbed sticks and used them as fire damage clubs. Yeah. So that worked. So let's do we've got that same weaponry available to us. Our arsenal is at our backs.
Shabba.
Yes, Tokas.
That'd be too easy. I'm going to sheath my rapier.
No, it would make too much sense for you to use, is what you're trying to say.
It makes too much sense. So I'm going to dual wield my shield, and kind of like a nice big textbook, I'm going to just smash it with my shield.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
What do I roll for shield smashing?
Make your attack.
I rolled a natural 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
You are flanking, so you have advantage.
Ooh.
But this is also not a weapon, so you don't get your proficiency bonus because you're not proficient.
Aren't I also, like, corrupted or dazed or...
Oh, that's right, you're poisoned, so the disadvantage and advantage cancel out.
Yeah. Yep, so I roll a 1.
Yep.
okay.
And so yeah, you sheath your rapier, lift up your shield, and just slam it into the ground.
I get excited about 1s, by the way. I'm always curious what Thane's going to do to me. I meant to do that. It's all part of the plan, guys.
I'm digging a hole for us to bury them in when we kill them.
I'm digging a hole to bury me in because I'm going to die. So I didn't take the dodge action.
Digging my own grave.
Alright, so first head bites you for 6 points of damage.
I'm down to 2.
The other one, fortunately, seems like he's still distracted by the treat that you dropped as you swung your shield, and it just gobbles it up.
You gotta, your priorities, you gotta keep those straight.
Yeah, man.
I mean, gnome, dog treat.
Azlo.
No.
Gotta nourish the bod.
All right. I'll run over to the fire, pick up a fire damage club,
Patent pending.
and then run back and take a swing at him. That was a 15 on the die, and it's plus strength, I'm guessing?
Yeah, well, it hits.
Okay. 6.
So using your burning log, you, with all of your halfling might, swing it down on the dog's back and feel more of its bones snap underneath the weight of your club as it crumples to the ground, and much like the one beside it.
Yes. All
Thank
right.
goodness. Cast it into the fire!
Phew.
The Damage Guild Podcast. Granting you a circumstance bonus to happiness since 2018.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Damage Guild Podcast. My name's Jay Stout, and today I'm joined by my 3 co-hosts, Thane, Sean, and Brian.
All 3 of us.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, not bad.
How are you?
Good. What in Kavaki's good and holy name are you doing here?
Well, you see, I heard a rumor on the street the other day that there's some new products coming out.
That rumor was incorrect. I don't know why you would have heard that, because it's wrong.
Oh, really? You mean there isn't a new store on the Damage Guild page?
Oh, that rumor, yes. Sorry, I was mistaken. I thought you were talking about another rumor.
Okay.
No, yeah, totally. There's a store, right? Isn't there?
Yeah, now there is.
Thane? Is there a store, or?
Of course there is. Brand new, in fact.
And what are these brand new products?
Things that are useful to everyday folk like us. Like, for example, drywall putty knives with our logo on them.
Yep.
You can really get a lot of work done with those things.
You'll have the sharpest looking walls in the world. Yeah. Tokas, have you ever slept before? I mean, Sean?
Well, Tokas hasn't, but Sean does quite a bit.
Because let me tell you, you'll never get a better night's sleep than on the brand new The Damage Guild pillow.
A pillow, you say?
That's right.
One that I could wake up to and lift my face off of, and
You could snuggle your own face if you wanted.
it's going to have my character face on it?
Well, no, not really. But it'll have our logo, which will be cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Just the other day, in fact, Thane and I were kicking around the Damage Guild hacky sack. We're selling that too, right? I know. Am I off base?
Nope, still not that one either. No.
Oh, sorry.
But Jay, have you ever drinking anything before?
I put things in my face every now and then. Yes.
Good, because now you could put things in your face using the brand new Damage Guild The Mug.
What? Say what?
Okay, that's actually pretty practical because I have a cubicle job and I could see myself I use a mug pretty much every day.
They do come in handy.
Cubicles are the only places people drink out of mugs, as we all know. So
Right.
Well, there's actually a bunch of people in my office that use a styrofoam cup every day. And I was that person when I first got hired and I brought in a mug. It's so much better for the environment. So do yourself, save the world. Get yourself a mug. I'm not saying necessarily a Damage Guild mug, but get yourself a mug.
But necessarily a Damage Guild mug.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have a cool mug for your office, and it's a great talking point. Like if you're one of those people that love the thing that we're doing here, this content that we're creating so very much that you want to let other people know, like it's great if you just hold the mug up and you're like, hey, what do you think about this? I watched this. And then they'll be like, how do you watch that? It's a mug. And you're like, no, wait. It's a podcast.
And then they'll be like, how do you watch that? It's a podcast.
Hey!
Well, I mean, they also have, so they've got Damage Guild, the brake pads, I believe, is one of our products as well.
We'll get back to you in a couple of years on whether those are coming out or not.
All right.
Thane, I don't know if you've ever worn clothes before, but
Every once in a while.
well, now you can with Damage Guild, the t-shirt.
Oh, my.
So, gonna have a big logo emblazoned across the front? Or is this one of those little, in the corner things where it's just over the pocket?
No, this will be the full shebang-a-bang dealio.
Wow.
Where it's the whole logo
Shirt is
across the whole
just
front.
one big logo. Or it's just logos in a pattern, like a grid pattern just laid out
Like
across.
the shirt is shaped like our logo, and so there's missing fabric, shows your navel.
Yeah, you'll have to figure out how to wear it, but it'll still be a good time.
So why are we doing this? Why are we launching a store? What is the purpose? What's the reason behind it? I don't understand.
Thane, would you like to clue us in?
Well, I guess the general idea is because we heard that you liked our podcast. We thought that you might like some other stuff related to it. We also are hoping to use this to help support the podcast and all the hard work that Jay and the rest of us put into editing and creating all of this wonderful content for you.
And paying for that lovely voice actor.
Oh, yeah. That he's awesome.
And the podcast hosting?
Right.
And the website?
No, yes, there's a fair number of ongoing costs.
But Brian, I'm just a humble listener. I didn't know that you guys had all these expenses. When were you going to tell me? Because I'm just some guy you don't even know from Argentina that you've never met. And I listen to your podcast. When were you going to tell me that this project actually cost you lots and lots of dollars to do, not just time?
Well, Sean, first of all, your Argentinian accent is not very convincing. Second of all, we were going to tell you right now, because that's what we're doing right now.
Oh, so I don't have to feel guilty. You're letting me know now.
Well, if you feel guilty and that makes you buy more stuff from us, then perhaps...
We will not argue
No,
with
don't
you.
feel guilty. Just feel in love with us so that you still buy more of our stuff.
So wait, so it supports, so what does it support again? Just so I can get a nice clear-cut list? If I were to buy the t-shirt, for example.
It's things like ongoing costs, like the cost of our podcast hosting. It's the cost of our website, our domain name, our web hosting package, paying the voice actor. It's payment even for our time, because, right, time costs money. All four of us, I think, I speak for us when I say that we all love doing this show. We all really enjoy it. But the fact of the matter is, life takes time.
Well, Jay, I got a question for you. How much would it cost if I was shooting a podcast by myself and I didn't have this awesome team behind me? How much would it cost me to hire an editor that did half as good a job as our editor here does?
You're probably looking at $50 to $100 an hour, something like that.
An hour? I don't get paid that much as an engineer.
For a freelance video editor, yeah, or an audio editor, it's pretty Pretty
I
expensive.
didn't realize it was that expensive.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We all love doing this show, but it does take a considerable amount of time. And we want to be able to spend more time on it. That's really what it boils down to. And if we want to spend the kind of time to keep producing a quality show week in and week out, there has to be some some impetus for doing that, right? We have to be able to allot that time. And if we see some success, then it will enable us to create more and better content.
Right, and it's just motivation, I suppose. It's not a non-zero factor. I remember reading an article not too long ago that was talking about people complaining about like content creators that they love like disappearing all of a sudden. And then they wonder like, well, it had to be the content creator's fault, right? Well, actually, it's kind of like a relationship. It's between the content creator and the people that consume the content. So if you're wondering why some of your favorite podcasts phased out or streamers phased out, it's probably because they never found the support that they needed.
Right.
Was kind of what the article was talking about. Those aren't my words. That was the article.
Right. It's just like when you buy an album, when you find a band you like and you buy their album, you're allowing them to continue to make music by supporting that music that you love. It's the same with any creative person, anyone who's putting something out there in the world for you to enjoy and for you to get something out of. If that content is making you happy, or if it's giving you entertainment or some sort of value, then that is value that's being passed on to you by them. And they're at a certain point, that has to have value to the creator, right? Because they've got to be able to spend the time to make that.
I dig it.
It's true.
I'm excited about this stuff. I mean, pretty soon we're going to have, Damage Guild, the cereal box, Damage Guild, the children's flamethrower.
Right.
Like, it's all in the works, guys. Don't worry.
We're going to have Damage Guild, the most stuff.
And if you're not that interested in the logo, we'll have other things that aren't just our logo coming out fairly soon, too.
Yeah, a few of us do have some design skills. We've got some ideas, and we're going to be putting together some other things, some memes from the show, some sort of inside jokes for various items that we'll have in our store. And so, again, this is just a great way for you to get something tangible for supporting us and for your listenership, which we really do appreciate. And we're glad that you've found us. We're glad that you've chosen to spend your time with us, and we want that relationship to continue. So this is the next step in that process.
So you can find all that awesome stuff at our new page, thedamageguild.com/store.
I believe it's /shop. Currently it is. It may change to /store.
We should probably allow both of them.
Yeah, there will be a link at the top of the page that will take you to our store. But yeah, probably just go to /shop or /store.
Or /buy things.
Yeah, something like that. So thank you guys again for listening, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of this week's episode, and we'll see you next Monday.
Good evening and good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
You are listening to the Damage Guild podcast.
All right, quick, Azlo, jump onto my shield that's embedded in the ground, and I'll fling you like a catapult.
Where are we going? I jump on.
Oh, wait, it's dead. Never mind.
Why are we doing this?
I told you I had a plan.
All right, let's go.
The gnomish catapult.
Your plan is to just throw halflings?
Don't tell the elf.
Yeah, well, you guys are being weird. I drag the dogs into the fire and toss them in. Can never be too careful with these undead.
Oh, good call.
Aren't we forgetting something?
The dog treats?
No, I feel like there's something we were supposed to do immediately after the fight. I can't put my finger on it.
Well, obviously, we gotta tend to Iris's wounds.
Oh, yeah, Iris. Oh, no, she's already dead, Shabba. I don't know if I forgot to tell you.
What?
I mean,
No.
Sean, stop making things worse for us. I run over and kneel down by Iris
By Iris's corpse.
and examine the wounds.
Well, actually, technically, you somersault off of Tokas's shield over
Right,
to Iris.
Right
He
onto
flips
her
me
chest.
Tokas, you missed.
All right, so one way or another, you end up over by Iris.
You crush her chest and then fall backwards into the fire on top of the burning dead dog.
Okay, how about we have like an epic movie scene where we all kneel down beside her and say,
There's like violin
Iris.
music in the background.
yeah, like some like...
I will leave how you arrived at her side to audience interpretation.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I like
So, you kneel down next to her. The blood is kind of spreading in a pool around her, but she's still breathing. You can see the wound looks pretty bad, though.
Azlo takes her head in his hands, and then I also take her head in my hands, and then Tokas comes in from the other side, and so we all are just cradling her head.
I'll hold her feet.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's really smart. Here,
Yeah,
I'm going to
elevate
push
those
the
legs, yeah.
push the blood from the feet back up to the torso.
To the hole where
Right.
it's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts gushing faster.
Again, Tokas, I'm no scientist, but
No, don't do that. Don't
hey,
do
put him
that.
back down. Look at him. Put him back down.
We're real bad at this medicine thing.
I do have a 0 to medicine, so...
All right, so she's basically bleeding out at this point.
She's still conscious, actually. She's
Oh, okay.
just very weak.
Badly injured. Okay. So as we're cradling her, I'll look up dramatically at the two of you and say, "Gentlemen, turn aside."
Okay, we do.
What? Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Like look the other way. You can't don't.
But she's going to be looking at you.
Yeah, Iris, look away. Look that way.
Close your eyes and pretend like you're dying more than you are.
Just close your eyes.
Shabba, what about that earwax? We could plug our ears.
Ooh, let's plug her wounds with your earwax. That's a great idea.
Yes, that's a brilliant idea.
Perfect.
There's enough of it.
No. Let's stick with plan A.
Okay.
I'm going to give you disadvantage on medicine check.
Shabba, you never knew you had all this raw material in your ears, did you? We could build a house with it, like a halfling-sized house.
Who has that much?
Giants do.
If we harvest it every day, we could build like little like earwax bricks and like make like an igloo out of the earwax bricks.
We could have like a matrix setup, except like where they have the things going into the back of their heads and they're actually just in a dream world. You just have a bunch of Goliaths like that and you're just pulling their earwax out. You could have
You
a
went deep on this one,
You
Jay.
could have a huge colony of
Yeah.
earwax.
Yeah, you're running deep for sure.
I don't mind it.
Why not just use beeswax?
There's actually someone who collects all their nail clippings. They've been collecting it for like 10 years or something like that. I don't know. They were featured on Good Mythical Morning. It just
That's
shows like
disgusting.
jars of
Gross,
stuff.
dude. Ugh. Yeah, that's nasty.
All right.
There's a reason you put that in the trash.
I have a few locks of hair of my own from when I was younger. That seems a little bit more reasonable to
In
me.
case you need to make a voodoo doll of yourself.
Wasn't that like a thing? That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, like in old photo albums, people would cut like a lock of their baby's hair and put it in there.
Right, or a woman would give a lock of her hair as a
Token.
promise
Token
or
to-
something. A token, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, for a witch's curse.
What?
Yeah, you give it to you never give your hair to the witch because she'll use it to put a curse on you.
Yeah.
Oh, make a voodoo doll.
Yeah, make a voodoo doll out of you.
All right, so back to what's actually happening.
Yeah, so
yeah.
back to Iris dying.
I like how we just have this 5-minute conversation while she's bleeding out. Oh, wait, we could have just healed her. Why didn't we think of that, guys?
Tokas is walking around picking up little crumbs of doggy treats from around the campfire.
Well, you told me I couldn't hold her legs up, so I felt useless, so I was hungry, and I just started walking around picking up the treats.
All right, so I ask you guys to look away.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
All right. I will pull from my back my lute and pluck a few strings and try to get the melody, the key in the right place. Then I start to sing, "Can I heal your wounds tonight? Tonight, that is what I'll do. It's enough for this wide-eyed tender toe to want to heal you." I'll cast Cure Wounds.
I hold up a lighter, or I hold up my torch machine.
Yeah, your fire damage club. I'll grab 2 and hold 1 in each hand.
No, my fire starter machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just sparking.
Yeah, I
Yep.
fire off a little bit
Little
of
sparks.
a little bit of sparks. Wave it back and forth.
And I will heal her for 11 damages.
Wow, that's a lot of damages.
Yeah, the wound closes over completely, and she looks down and says, "That's amazing. I feel perfectly fine." Thank you.
I've been practicing. And my wife is laughing at me from the next room.
And to think a few hours ago you didn't even trust us, Iris.
See, it was all well.
Still don't entirely trust your judgment, but you can at least see.
Well, your mistrust is misplaced. Trust me.
So what are we going to do about this pile of blood? I mean, sure, the wound is closed, but somebody needs to get her, like, some grape juice or something. Replenish that iron.
Tokas, I'm just going to go ahead and as the owner, founder, and CEO of this company, I'm going to go ahead and say, don't collect her blood in a vial.
Oh, it's already in. I'm already considering dumping out one of my filled vials and putting her blood in a vial.
Well, you ran out of the poison, so you've got one empty vial now.
Ah, mixing Iris with the trace amounts of the paralytic poison. Yeah.
That seems
wait, no. I would like to go over to the dead dog corpses. Wait, you burned them though, Shabba. Why?
Yeah, they're in the fire. They're totally in the fire right now. Yeah.
Are they burning yet? Because, I mean, corpses don't really burn very easily, in fairness.
I mean, they do take a while, yeah, but I mean, they're in there.
Yeah, they're starting to smolder a little bit.
Okay, I pull one out of the fire. One of the bodies.
Okay.
Remember, we established that they didn't have circulatory systems, though. So all their blood's probably congealed in their veins.
That's not what I wanted out of them. I'm curious about, like, so those weird effects that happened to me just a moment ago. Am I still poisoned?
Yes.
I want to know how they tick. I want to figure out where that poison comes from. And I've got good nature checks. Can I make a check of sorts?
Probably more a medicine check, right? To examine the body to figure out where the poison's coming from?
Yeah, that would be better.
Oh, well, Shabba would be better at that. I have 0 to medicine.
No, I would not. Azlo would.
Azlo, can you look at this dead dog for me, please?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I think he's probably the worst one at it, actually.
Probably.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, medicine is intelligence?
Nope.
Like that?
We ain't finding crap.
No, medicine's wisdom.
Medicine.
Yeah. No, we're not finding jack. I know nothing. I got a 6.
I got a 17.
Oh.
It's impressive.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Well, examining the dog, you don't see that it has any, like, holes in its fangs for venom or anything like that. So you can't find any traces of poison or any obvious sources of what would be causing that.
Wait, Shabba, maybe you're a genius. So this thing, the whole thing is the poison. Like, the whole, like, the undeath, right? Like, what if we burn it and break it down into its subcomponents? That's why you wanted to burn the body, wasn't it, Shabba?
Absolutely. How'd you know?
So I throw it back on the fire and wait for it to condense.
For like a day or two.
All right, so you'll be spending the rest of the night around a pile of burning dead dogs.
And BT Dubs, go ahead and, like, low-key collect a sample of Iris's blood.
I already did, Shabba, under the table.
Okay. All right, good. Because didn't we discuss the possibility of her being patient 0? She is the Henrietta Lacks of this plague.
Oh, that's right.
I thought it was Jeb.
Well, that was possible, but he obviously...
I have Jeb's blood. That's in my...
He succumbed to the virus, though, to the plague.
Yeah, he didn't get better, remember? He just became a zombie. But Iris, she survived.
Well, no. She hid in her house and none of the zombies went for her. Maybe she has something else. Maybe it's not that she's immune. She was never bitten in the first place. What if she just doesn't attract them?
But this plague doesn't work like that. Remember, it's not a biting thing. It's a being around the crystals thing.
Right, she was living in that town the whole time.
Yeah. She's probably like a lich. So she's not really alive, so the crystals have no life energy to take from her.
No, that's really fascinating, right? She didn't seem to have the normal adverse effects of the crystal.
As far as we know.
You don't really have anyone else from that town to compare to because they all evacuated beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Right, she might not be as old as she's acting.
Right.
Or feeling.
What if we get to the other town and her kids are like 5 years old, and they're like, Mommy, you look different.
What if she wears a really good perfume that's like a magic shield that protects her?
Yep. It's a repellent.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she is a corpse and she's using the perfume to hide the fact that she's decaying and rotting. And if you just pull back her sleeve a little bit, you'll see that it's all decaying flesh.
I get down on all fours and take a big whiff of her.
This episode is not appropriate anymore for multiple reasons.
She was bitten. We did see her actual flesh when the dog bit through her clothes. on her hip.
Yeah.
So
Oh, she's gonna turn now. That's true. She got bitten by the freaking. I'm gonna turn now. I got bitten by the monster.
yeah, you guys are both screwed. Well, we'll see you later. You guys fend for yourselves. We're gonna leave you here and go on.
Dang it.
So yeah, she smells sweaty,
Okay.
All right.
Nasty.
All right.
just like all of you do.
Cool.
Let's try and get some shut-eye, guys, so we can get up our strength for tomorrow.
Agreed.
Wait, if you fight during like the night hours when you're supposed to be resting, don't you take a level of exhaustion? Like if we're disturbed from monsters when we're supposed to be sleeping?
There are differing opinions on the matter. Some people, well, I mean, technically you need a full night's rest, so we can just sleep later in the morning. But as far as when you regain your stuff, it's supposed to be after. So technically we were still using our stuff from this past day as far as our abilities and spells and things like that.
Yeah, and Azlo's is the first watch, so just sleep in a little bit longer and it'll be fine.
Okay. So I prepare to sleep in.
Imagine how hard it would be to fall asleep at night when you're out in the wilderness and there's things like death dogs around. I know for me, when I'm trying to fall asleep and I hear bumps in the night or imaginary things, my mind starts going crazy. Like, oh, what if someone's breaking into the house? Imagine if you were like out in the middle of an open field and there's like two-headed zombie dogs running around. Like every little sound you heard would be, you'd be like, oh,
no.
wake up again. That'd be terrifying.
I told you about the time I turned on the porch light and there were 4 raccoons on my back deck, right?
What?
A whole family?
Yeah, we heard like screeching, like animal noises. And Sarah's like, what is that? You gotta go downstairs and check. So I grabbed my gun, walked downstairs, and I turned on the porch light. And there was a mother raccoon and 3 like almost full-grown raccoon cubs or whatever you call them, like on the deck. And of course the cubs were like squabbling over something that they'd found and like pissing each other off. And they were just like, oh,
Raccoons are actually very smart.
They're super crafty, and they can pretty much get
their hands. They have like
Super dexterous hands.
they're not they're very dexterous. I wouldn't say opposable thumbs, but like they can do really interesting things with their paws
sure.
that most animals can't.
And our deck has no staircase. It's a second-story deck. There's no staircase to get up on it, so they just climb fences and railings and banisters. And
raccoons remind me of Stripey because Stripey's crafty. What happened to Stripey this whole episode, by the way?
Oh, Stripey, don't worry about him. He's fine. He's in my backpack, resting comfortably.
Oh, okay.
He never woke up.
Yeah, he slept through the entire fight. Didn't bat an eye.
He just pokes his head out every once in a while to check out what's going on.
Yeah, he's like, oh, cool.
Oh, they're just fighting zombie dogs. Yeah, everything's fine.
No, fighting stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yawns, goes back to sleep.
Ship me one of those treats when you're done. Yeah. I'll get a bite of that.
Yeah, how would any of our dog treats have survived this whole time with Stripey roaming about?
They're all like in my backpack, and then it's just a bunch of crumbs at the bottom.
Stripey comically laying on his back with a full tummy. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I ate too much again.
No, he's like built a small house inside of your backpack built of these dog treats.
And molded them together with my earwax, which he has harvested while I'm sleeping. Oh, God, this episode is so disgusting. Can we please just sleep and move on? Let's go. Let's start walking somewhere.
Yeah, let's stop before this gets any weirder.
I need to escape this accursed place full of all these horrifying memories.